weren't aware that the Empire controls Hollywood, this is your proof.
So if you're not aware, there's a movie that is coming out this year, 2017. It's called A Dog's Purpose. Now, if the trailer that is out that I've seen makes it look like the movie is about half about this dog living with one person. And then he dies of old age, lives a full dog life, and then has a natural dog death. Then he gets reincarnated as he dies into another dog, who then lives a completely different life with a different people. That trend continues. He keeps passing away at some point in time, which is kind of a dark thing to think about. It's a movie about a dog that continuously dies, but then also comes back to life by some sort of magic. Now, most movies and TV shows and all that have to say, oh, no animals were harmed in the making of this film, or no animals in TV show, whatever. Well, I don't know if this movie can necessarily say that anymore after the clip. As you can see, TMZ released this. I don't know where they got it from. They clearly got it from somebody, but they might even be the owner of the dog. I don't know, because it sounds like the owner and the owner's wife, or the two owners, whatever, sound like they're the ones that are there. He's saying, don't worry, he just needs to get, he's just a little nervous. He'll get it. When he gets in the water, it'll be fine. And then the other person, who sounds like a woman to me at this point in time, sounds like a woman, it sounds scared. Like, the water's moving a lot. He's too scared. I don't like this. But, the handler, the trainer, the guy who's supposed to know how to handle an animal that doesn't want to do something, he is just kind of manhandling the dog. Look at this. Clearly the dog does not want to go anywhere near that water. As has been pointed out to me, there's a good possibility that, one, the lights and the noise from the people, because they're not watching the noise that's going on here, because they're not going to use the audio from this. They're using only the video from this, and they will do post-recording audio with just microphones to record, something being thrown into the water for when he hits the water, and all the other effects that you would need. So I guess what they're trying to do is just get a little nugget of a shot of him swimming in the water. Him, her, whatever the dog is. Sorry, wait a second. Hold up. Is it misogynistic for me to assume that the dog that is working in show business here is a male and not a female? Look, and he pops a little finger up there. I think they have a case for sexual abuse here, if not sexual harassment. He definitely looked like he popped a little finger up in there. Look at this. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? He's holding the dog by its collar. It's not a harness that goes around the shoulders and all that stuff. It's his collar. His neck is crooked out to the side. This is not a situation where you're trying to get a dog that is in danger, or a danger to somebody else, under control. This is when you're dunking a dog into water. This is not something that had to be done. You could have done a lot of things to change the scenario. You could have taken a lot of people and moved them somewhere else so that they weren't there scaring the dog, or just reduce the issues that the dog is going to react to. The noise, the commotion, the water itself, obviously, but that there's just so many other factors that are going to freak a dog out, because it's not going to know what's going on. It's going to know that you're trying to lower it into water in front of a bunch of people that are standing there watching, making noise. I guess this is supposed to be where you watch the dog swim over to the blue screen. Oh, look at that! Oh, look at that! The dog is drowning. The dog is drowning now. Good job. Good job, show business. Now, the reason I bring this up, the only reason I even think it's worth doing this, I actually saw people saying that this is not abuse. There is no issues whatsoever with this, is what they basically were saying. This is, it's fine. It's not abuse. No, it's not abuse. Really, it's not abuse. Well, first of all, you put a dog in a situation where they could be very easily harmed without, you had divers there, but they waited until they yelled cut to save the dog that was under the water. TMZ asks in their video here in the comments here, did the filmmakers go too far to get the shot? Yeah. Here's the problem for me. People are retarded. That's a quote here, as you can see. It's a quote. The German Shepherd named Hercule trained 7 times for this and was fine. This time he didn't like the camera. Right. Does that mean it's still okay to throw the dog in there when he's not comfortable? Here's my problem. Are you stupid? Because the dog is anxious, nervous, and scared. It's clear that the dog doesn't know what's going on. He's scared. He's not happy. He wants out of that situation. So why do you think the dog is just going to be able to, I'm going to swim? It makes so much more sense that the dog would panic in that situation. Dogs are just like anything else. They can panic. They can think on their feet, but they can panic as well. So it's very stupid to assume that the dog is going to very easily just jump in there and swim in that water that's churning and all that, and the dog isn't going to panic at all when it has nowhere to go because it can't climb out because there's a wall around it. There wasn't any stairs. There was nothing. There was no reason to think that dog is going to be able to swim and walk out on its own. They could have very easily just put, something in there so the dog can get out. The dog has nowhere to go at that point. It's just swimming to swim. It's just going because it's the only way it knows to stay afloat and where to go. And then it gets to the wall, and then it has nowhere to go. How about people focus on real animal abuse, like dogs being abused and starved and beaten by their master, and instead of a healthy dog who stubbornly doesn't want to go in the water for being scared? Just do me a real quick. Just do me a question here, real quick. Just do me a favor. If you took a child, 8-year-old child, knows how to swim and everything just fine, but is scared to go in a certain pool, but you say, no, you're fine, and then you just chuck him in. Hey, no, Timmy, you're fine. You just go, What would the government call that? Wouldn't that be child abuse? Throwing your kid into a pool they're not prepared to go swimming in? They're not happy with? No, that would not be considered, it's just a prank. He's fine, Judge. Can almost guarantee you it's not going to be that simple. The dog is not able to give consent to do this. He doesn't know what's going on. All he knows is his master that he trusts so much took him to this place. Legitimately not copying H3H3. I just choked. Now, so that we're clear, the majority of people are actually legitimately frustrated and angered by this. But there are so many people that are saying things like this. It's just a dog, LOL. Here's a good example. The dog thought it was going to drown and nearly did at the end. Absolutely animal abuse. Not sorry if you disagree. It would be child abuse if you did the same thing to a child. Dog knows how to swim. Retard. He was trained 7 times before this and was fine, but cameras spooked him. That's not animal abuse. You're forcing the dog to do something it's not ready to do. It's scared to do. It's not prepared to do it. Just cut it. Just don't do it. All the stuff they do with CGI. And you couldn't freaking manage to just put a CGI dog in there jumping into the water or something? Okay, Gypsy, jump off the desk. Jump off the desk. No, on the desk. Come on, get on the desk. Come on, jump off the desk. Jump off the desk, come on. Now, if she would have done that, it would have been my fault. It would have been my fault, and it would have been abuse, because I kept pushing her to jump off the desk. Okay, granted, I ended up just holding her and letting her pretend to try and climb on the desk, because, first of all, I didn't want her actually jumping off the desk, and 2, she's too short. You can't see her in the camera. Besides the point, if I walk up to a bridge and push a guy off, that's murder. Where was I going with this? If you're at a pool and you push somebody in the pool that you don't know, that's assault. That is assault. If you just throw a dog, you not even throw a dog, you lower the dog in by its collar, which is putting pressure on its neck. Grab yourself in the neck right now if you disagree. Tie around your neck and then just real close. And then do that and see how you feel yanking on your own neck like this. The problem with things like this is it's a dog. It's not a human, so there haven't been as many instances of this. If it was a person that was being hung by their neck and lowered into water when they didn't want to go swimming, that's called torture. That's not a prank. That's pretty much torture. Look, a dog's purpose mentally abuses terrified German Shepherd. They even say in whoever's video that Professor even says here that it's, I get it, Professor. It's some kind of dog. Here's the part in the trailer that it actually goes to.
Purpose. I was needed again.
Right there. That's it right there. That's it. That little segment right there. In the movie, probably has a little more swimming in it. That's probably all it is. So they probably had like 6 cameras getting him swimming from different angles. And they're going to use it to make a whole big thing. But you're telling me the only way you could get this dog to do this was there? You couldn't have gone to a lake or something and gotten him swimming in the water. Maybe, splashed water around or done... Here's the thing. Even if you don't CGI the dog into the water, how about you just CGI the rapids into the dog? I mean, the water's going to be cascading over him anyway. Why was it so necessary to do this in this way? There are plenty of other ways they could have done this, and this was just the way they decided to go with. It could have been a still pool of water, and then they could have CGI'd it in. And I know, a lot of people don't like doing things with CGI as much as practical. They'd rather do practical, but practical sometimes is more expensive, and in this case, oh boy, could it be. Most likely, there are going to be quite a few fines with this, because I can almost guarantee you that animal associations are not going to be happy about this, because the majority of people understand why and how this is abuse. Anyway, if you'll excuse me now, I'm going to go strangle some people with my mind. Later.
Even I know that what we're about to see right now is extremely messed up.